everybody. This is Dr. Richard Cherney welcoming you into another episode of Journey into Awareness with myself and Jamie Love from San Diego. And we have a wonderful guest today, Jamie, don't we? Why don't you introduce her?
Kimberly Mcgeorge on Skype today, and she's coming out real beautiful and clear.
From North Carolina.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you both for having me. It's so exciting.
Where are you coming out of, Kimberly?
I am coming out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Ooh, how's the weather?
It's cloudy but hot. Very hot.
Anyway, so Kimberly, it's my understanding that you are a intuitive life coach, and I have something written down here I'd like to share with our audience.
Sure.
If you don't mind. It says, your points of view about life create your reality, thus creating what shows up in your life. The cool thing is that you have the ability to change your point of view about everything. And by simply changing your point of view, your reality and your life will start to show up differently. And I love that when you wrote that. And can we talk a little bit about that and how you can change your reality just by thinking? And just by looking?
Absolutely. I really love that. And I have a great example. We all have issues in our life and interpersonal conflicts. And I actually have had a long-standing problem with some business partners of mine and some things going on. You know what? It's so funny because I teach this stuff, but we're so stubborn in our beliefs and our points of view about things. We just cling to it. This is black and this is white and that's the way it is. And it's going into that state of allowance, which I'm learning to live in more and more, which I teach, that really changes everything. So basically, I got up one morning and my kids just told me yesterday, they're like, "You're bipolar, Mom." I'm like, "No, I'm really sensitive to the energy and I'm in a state of allowance." Yes. And Richard knows this is true, and so do you, Jamie.
Yes.
But if you live this way from an authentic state of being, you don't just appear bipolar, you appear like completely crazy and schizophrenic to the outside. Because, I can like, let's do this at 3 o'clock. And at 3 o'clock, the energy holds and it's phenomenal and it's fantastic. But when it comes around, it's like, it's fallen out. So we need to be really, really sensitive to that energy. But regarding this interpersonal situation, basically, I got up in the morning and I couldn't sleep, and it was such a horrendous, long-standing, a couple of years conflict between me and this other person. And we both kind of met in the middle, and in a second, everything was eliminated and neutralized. And that's how easy it is. So a lot of the things that aren't working in our life, we've created by our points of view or how we're looking at it, how we're holding on to that energy. And that energy actually creates, because I always talk about, Richard has an energy, you have an energy, Jamie, and then there's the energy of a relationship, whether it's a professional or personal or family, there's an energy of a relationship.
Yes, that's definitely true.
And so the energy of the relationship has its own frequency pattern, it has its own grid, and all your beliefs and everything make that up. But if you can neutralize that, or you don't even have to work on you. So you don't have to go through some personal transformation. Richard doesn't have to go through a personal transformation. But if you change the energy of the in-between, everything changes, including you. So it's kind of this kickback effect. So anyway, just sharing.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. So how does one change the energy? Because it sounds kind of like a recipe. It sounds like you have this energy and you have that energy and then that energy, these energies mix up. And then you have something new. You have a new energy there because these are two different energies colliding.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But what's really cool is not only is it a recipe, but just like a cake. So you take sugar and flour and baking soda and whatever you're flavoring, chocolate, and you mix it all up. And when you look at it, you're looking down at it. It's just this bowl of actually the two people's ingredients mixed together. But the transformation is the point of view. The transformation is what you do with that energy and how you work with that energy that changes that, quote, using your illustration, into a baked cake type of deal. So that's how you can transform the energy of a relationship. It's what you add to it or what you subtract to it. So you can take out the negative things, you can add in the positive things. And we were talking about this morning, he and I, we were saying, if there's hope for us, there's hope for Middle East. There's hope for...
Is there any way, Kimberly, that we collectively as humanity in the United States of America, if we got together, could we change the energy? Just by looking at it differently?
You're talking about through positive critical mass?
Yeah. Critical mass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
I love that. I love that you put it in those terms of a possibility too. Well, each person, and this is like people that aren't even well, these aren't even people that are conscious. These are just human beings on the earth. Each person has enough energy, enough frequency, enough light in their being to light an entire city. Some of us hold more and we can light more. So think about that. If we really stand in that light and in that power and we combine, we can really shift the world. And I don't even think it takes more than one, but there's that whole study, and maybe Richard knows more about this than me, but there's been tons of studies done on the power of the collective. So when we bring people together, like in the 21-day program, the whole of us together, Jamie, like miracles happen, and it's not just me facilitating it, it's the group.
That's right.
Becomes just exponentially more than one or two of us.
That's
Yes.
very interesting.
That's
Richard,
very true.
We were a part of that 21-day energy frequency.
Yes, we were. And we're going to take a break for a minute and recharge our energies after these messages on the Daily Blue and Journey into Awareness.
Hey Larry, every week I watch your show.
As you should.
And I know so much about sports now. Thank you.
You should be learning about sports. And everybody should be watching all our other shows here on the Daily Blue.
Why are you promoting the other shows? I thought you were the king of the Daily Blue.
That's true, but I'm all about everybody. It's not always all about me.
No,
all
it really
about
is.
the team.
Every day I wake up and it says, today is all about me, Corinne. Don't
I've
lie.
heard that.
Don't lie. Tune in every week to the Daily Blue and you'll see Sports Biz with LD. And you will get a lot of information, updates in sports and a little bit about Sports Biz.
And that's me, Larry Davis, Sports Biz with LD.
Hey everybody, did you recharge? Did you re-energize? Because we're back with Dr. Kimberly Mcgeorge from North Carolina and Jamie Adams, aka Jamie Love, and Piglet from San Diego. So let's continue with this energizing conversation, shall we?
Yes. Richard, so we were just about to talk about her 21-day frequency, and I just wanted to ask Richard, actually, what happened to you? What was your experience with that? Because I know that you were way more involved with it than I was. I was more subtly involved.
Well, I'll give you a exponentially. My voice used to be like this.
Oh
But
my
it-
goodness.
But it got deeper like this.
Sexier.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which
One day
one?
I just
Coming up.
woke up and it sounded like I smoked too many cigars, and that's how my voice kind of stayed. And then Kim and I talked about it, and she goes, "Well, that's because you're coming into your power, so your voice dropped a half an octave." Because she read it like right away. So that was my first indication that whatever was happening in terms of the energy mapping, which Kim is going to talk about, and her awakening program, which she is also going to talk about, was happening. And then it was very interesting because I started to feel and experience life from the inside out instead of from the outside in. And I just felt the love vibration more than I did before. And I'm getting chills as I'm talking about this.
I am too.
I just felt the love vibration more because Kimberly just has a way of talking and speaking that just makes you kind of just float away like, whoa, and that's what she did each time. And, with her MP3s that tuned into your energy, which Kim can talk about too, it was just an amazing experience, But I just became more of myself, and I just started to understand that I'm not myself, if that makes any kind of sense. We are not who we are, we are just here. Beings, and we're just in awareness. And, it's all about love, and that's what our show is about. It's about how the love vibration makes everything better. And Dr. Kimberly Mcgeorge is all about that too, because that's where I believe her power comes from also. It comes from her heart. And she is the empath's empath, if I can say a word.
Ooh, I have a new title.
She's the empath's empath. So that's my experience, Jamie, and thank you for asking. And it was just a wonderful thing.
So how does that work, Kimberly? Can you tell us about how do you have that work? I did actually get to listen to some of the music that you had. So talk to us, please, about it.
Sure, I'll be happy to. the work in the 21-day program specifically was we kind of played in the field of frequency. So it was kind of an experimental program to say what would happen if we brought this group of people together with limited expectations. For example, you got to write down 5 things, and I highly doubt, I don't remember one of yours, Richard, being that your voice changes, you know, and that necessarily you feel you're empowered. I think that was a piece of it. But we kind of, you know, set our intention. And then I created an individual personalized frequency track, which means I use a frequency generation machine. I put together for the person frequencies that are actually going to add things into their field that they need or subtract and neutralize things in their field that they don't need. So it physically not only changes the energy field, and we know that everything hits the energy field before it hits the mind, body, spirit, or emotions. It's all out here before it hits in here. And so by changing out here with frequency work, we can very rapidly change a number of things on a physical level, including things like bringing money in, taking toxic people out, opening the heart, healing physical disorders. We had a number of stories of people that didn't even write it in one of their 5 things, Richard. I think you've heard this.
That's right.
That were spontaneously healed.
Yes.
And, you know, everybody's like, why? But the greater work really was the frequency tracks that everybody shared. You know, they said we could share with each other. We were trying to go for that collective energy thing, Jamie. But what really happened was I was led to rework them to be even more powerful for the group. So even though Richard said, you know, go ahead, share my track, that wasn't in the highest good of the group. So I took Richard's track and I added and subtracted stuff and changed that energy. But it was still Richard's creation. It was Richard's heart contribution to the energy of the whole. And then it became something even more amazing. You know, and I did that with many people. Richard was just one of the generous people that, you know, volunteered that. So it became this scientific experiment. Scientific because the work I do, half the work I do, Jamie, is completely scientific. The other half of the work I do is completely crazy woo-woo. So we kind of combined all that. And we had a great time, tremendous in my own life, you know, in Richard's life. And Richard, do you want to tell everybody the changes in my life? Do you remember what happened to me?
Oh yes, you got more abundance, and your network came into being. Your radio network, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, and more physical than that, and maybe you haven't heard this, so Richard, maybe this is like a surprise to you, but one thing I've shared with the 21-day group is that my whole being changed. Just like Richard changed and came into some spots that he hadn't been playing in, Jamie. We have 2 sides of energy that flow in our body, and the masculine and the feminine. And I'm more masculine, and we brought the feminine in. You guys brought the feminine in with the 21 days. So I changed my whole wardrobe, my food taste changed. And this is consistent. Yeah, it's crazy.
And also, your relationships changed too, right? You were talking about your relationships with your family.
Well, yeah, my relationships with my family changed during that time where I wasn't before an allowance of their attitude toward me and toward my work and toward me as a person. And I've never really been an allowance of that. And I had a lot of resentment and unforgiveness. I really came into a new place where it doesn't matter how they treat me or think about me. I need to be consistent with the being that I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to love them in spite of them. And so there was a lot of forgiveness that happened. My relationship with my brother healed. Now we have a relationship. They just invited us over for a 4th of July barbecue. My relationship with my parents changed. Really tons of different areas. And I didn't expect it. You know, you're the leader, you know, you're the teacher, and you never expect the work to be so profoundly transformational in your own life, your own work. But it was, you know, due to Richard's contribution, due to everybody's, you know, even yours, Jamie, even being a part of that, you know, on whatever level you were, everybody contributed their energy to that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I did the 5 questions. that's as far as I went. I did the 5 questions, the things that, and I remember one of them was being blocked. I was blocked for my communication. There we go. Just like that. My communication was blocked, and I've had quite a few breakthroughs.
Right.
Just the other day, I want to say 2 days ago, I had a blockage with my new roommate, with my mother, and with a situation that was just absolutely paralyzing. I lost somebody very close to me very recently, and it just really paralyzed me. It actually stopped me in my tracks, and I was stuck for about a month. And it was just amazing.
Yes.
When I spoke to my mother, I wrote her a letter, and I explained to her why things weren't going to happen the way they were going to happen, because it was so important. It was so important for me to make sure that my future was set, and I'm working on goals, and things are happening right now. And look, we've got this wonderful YouTube show going on, and it took me to explain to her, like, this is what's going on in my life. And just because what is happening isn't happening the way that you want it to right now, Mom, it is happening the way I need it to right now. So what I need is the most important thing than what we want, you know. So so she just like let down her guard, and she realized, oh, this has nothing to do with you not loving me or caring about me. This just has to do with what needs to come around. And the same thing happened with my roommate. We wrote letters. I really want to encourage everyone out there to write letters to each other. You know, with this digital age, you know, of texting and everything, it's just not from the heart. When you write it down on a piece of paper and you hand it to that person, or you leave it for that person to find, I mean, it's magical. It's amazing what a letter can do. So, I just want to encourage people to write letters.
And I want to encourage everyone that's watching us on the Daily Blue and Journey into Awareness to write your lists and your letters, and we'll be back after this message.
Hi, I'm Tim Stead. I'm from Star Communications. We're a marketing support company. And if you need help with your next marketing project, please call 273-1900, or you can go to our website, starcommunications.us.
Hey everybody, did you write your list? Did you get your messages out there? We're back with Dr. Kimberly Mcgeorge from North Carolina, and Jamie Adams from San Diego, California. And we're coming into the home stretch here on Journey into Awareness with myself, Dr. Richard Cherney. So here we go, chugging along on the love train.
Choo choo.
So Kimberly, tell the audience how people can get a hold of you and get into your workshops and your seminars, your teleseminars, and benefit from what you have to offer here.
Well, Richard, thank you so much. You can actually go to my webpage, secrettoeverything.com or kimberlymcgeorge.com, and we actually have a free gift so you can actually experience the frequency work that Richard and Jamie were talking about. So that's a free gift you can download and kind of see if it's a match for you and if you resonate with my work. There's also a number of programs we're running right now. We're through with 21 Day for now. We're through with the gut feeling, but we are still doing Awakening Collection, which is kind of again a taste of the work. You can join this great community that Richard and I talked about and become a part of that. I like to say they're the most evolved souls on the planet, my group. Maybe I'm a little, no, I don't think I'm jaded. I think they really are the most evolved souls.
We would agree.
So we have the Awakening Collection. You guys can read about that. And I'm really, really excited about a couple programs. We have TEB, which is Transformational Energy Balancing. So we're offering body scans. Very, very rarely I'll open up a window of body scans. And I'm opening up body and energy field scans right now for a very low price. So you can get in on that. I think we're going to lock them down at the end of the summer. We won't even offer them for a while because we're getting really busy. I'm all over the telesummits. If you guys really want to experience some free work, if you want to experience free processes, free clearings, I have a whole page of videos and audios, totally free, that you guys can go to and listen to my stuff again, see if it resonates with you. Master Meridian Mapping is a little bit of an advanced program that Dr. Richard referred to, dealing with the belief systems and the belief energy grids that I talked about that we need to remove. So we're like, is that really me, or is that my energy grid kind of talking? You know, energy grids can be positive or negative. You know, they can have great things in them, or they can have a mix of really, really harmful and damaging things we brought in from our ancestors and DNA. So those are the couple of things going on. We also have, and Richard has been on there, Dr. Richard. He listened to his archive. We have the Secret to Everything radio show on Blog Talk Radio, which you can also access. You can even go to my website and listen to Richard's show today if you'd like to. So.
Yes. And I think you'd be great on a video podcast, Dr. Kim, just saying.
Thank you,
I concur.
Yeah, because you have great videos on YouTube, and I think this would be a great platform for you too.
Well, I appreciate that. I will take that under advisement, dear sir.
You're welcome. And thank you so much, you two beautiful women out there with your beautiful smiles and eyes, and for really touching the audience here. Did you come away with a message? Are you different now after watching the show? Think about that. Feel it. Because we all change. And that's really the only thing that we can really, really focus on in life is change. Change for the positive or change for the negative. but it's about a choice. And you choose to join us on Journey into Awareness here on the Daily Blue. So on behalf of myself and my co-host, Jamie Love, and our guest, Dr. Kimberly Mcgeorge, thank you for being with us. And
Thank
have
you so
a wonderful
much.
4th of
Thank
July
you.
weekend. And remember to love everybody in your life and tell them how you appreciate them and love them. See you next week here on the Daily Blue. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.